Hey, welcome to Nathan's Garage. Part 5 is here. She's out. She has flown the coop. Let's see what work got done. Hey guys, look! Her face is back on. Well, kind of, you know. We're close. Let me show you. Right now, she is looking awesome as ever. And the top's all bolted in, but right now, clearance on the side needs to go back about 1.5 inches, something like that. So we're on the Crown Vic chassis, obviously. So I've started cutting into the chassis legs itself to get the grille in and behind. Doug Martin of Martin's Custom Fabrications has been helping me with answering a lot of my questions, and he actually took the whole chassis leg off and started again, which I probably will do, but I'm just chopping slowly because I'm good at chopping a lot and then regretting it later. So I'm just chopping a little bit right now just to get it to fit, and I'm going to leave as much as I possibly can. One thing that I'm going to have to move is the power steering cooler there, because as you can see we're actually up against it. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down to underneath that bumper bar. That should work because it has its own hard pipes, and it has a couple of rubber hoses in there that I'll be able to just, you know, reroute down. And then I think I'm going to be cool with that being all of the relocation. I think the AC condenser is going to be fine, the radiator is going to be fine. You can see the wiring in there. It's just zip tied up to the actual front panel for now, in the same shape as it was on the Crown Vic. So I think that's going to work. So I'll get some, you know, wiring brackets and make that good later on. So for right now, we're making progress on the front end. So yeah, still working towards getting the bed on, the ultimate goal. A little bit more progress has been made today. As you can see, the grille now actually mounts back to the rear fender itself. Did have to take the power steering cooler off, which was right here, and I have bent these AC pipes slightly as well, and I've also clearanced the grille on both sides. It's still super tight, so I'll probably bend those pipes a little bit more to get that to clear the grille and not be rubbing. So now we're onto this panel here that goes underneath the actual grille itself, and as you can see, I'm chopping more and more out of these chassis legs, and eventually it looks like, yes, they are going to have to go, but probably still going to do it piece by piece. As you can see, the cross member and the end of the chassis legs did have to go. Yes, Doug Martin, you were right. Whatever. So this is the passenger front corner of the truck, and as you can see, it had a little bit of a tickle by something heavy and unfriendly at some point in its life. So this has all been straightened out. I kind of love this old stuff, you know, because it tells a story of the truck, and I just want everything to be as original body-wise as possible. And so I'm doing this. All this entire kind of front fascia took the hit. The original chassis, the chassis leg was slightly tucked in, so it was definitely a heavy hit. So we've straightened all this bumper cover out at the top, coming around here, and we had this piece, and this was fully like folded in at this point, so just beating it with a hammer and put it in my vise and straightened it out, and then we're going to be you know, putting it in there like that. That's the filler panel. I've got things like the little holder there, you know, the hole has been torn out, so I'm going to grab a washer and weld it in the back there, and just, as I say, keep everything as original as possible and ugly. Hey guys, so today is going to be bumper fitment. We've got this cover piece on, got all clearance around the AC pipes that run down. Still going to cap off the end of the chassis legs there. Yeah, so today's bumper fitment, making bumper brackets. We put the hood on yesterday, me and Mrs. Garage put the hood on yesterday just to see what the front end panel alignment was like. All good. And she's back on the wheels now, which is kind of cool. And I'm just, you know, the power steering cooler is going to go down here. I just mocked it up yesterday. I just got to run a couple of L brackets off this cross member down here, and the power steering cooler will go in there perfectly. When I was down there, I also thought, my god, that would be a perfect spot for a intercooler. one day, hopefully sooner than later. Got this front corner all lined up and welded. It's kind of bitty on the welding because, you know, a lot of the metal was torn and extremely thin. So did our best. I'll probably throw some seam sealer on it or something like that. But look at that panel alignment. Factory fresh. Here are the bumper brackets halfway through. I don't know, I'm not really thinking clearly today, and this is taking an age. So, but they are what they are. So, made up the brackets and then had some rod lying around. The access to the back of the bumper with the welder was just hard, and it was hard to try and figure out how to make templates and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the start, and then I'll just fill in the spaces in between the rods with some flat plate to strengthen it up, and then power steering cooler is going to go right in there. I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to focus on putting some strength back into this front panel, because it's only held, the front end weight is being held by, you know, just this little L bracket and these little bolts. I boxed in this section because this is what's going to hold the weight of the front end, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some box section straight up there, make these holes bigger so we can, you know, really get some strength into this front end. So yeah, that's going to be the goal today. I have to work later on, so it's not going to be a super long day, so we shall get on. Here's a little bit of progress on the front end. So here you can see this area is completely boxed in, not on the bottom, but just on all the top sides. I filled in the old drill hole that was the temporary mounting, and then as far as I can tell, this is going to be my best option on mounting this front panel. I'm going to get probably 2 decent sized riv nuts to weld into there and then bolt through. So you got one there and then one there, and obviously the front panel is going to sit down behind it and then you know, be welded onto it. So that's pretty heavy box section, so that should put a lot of strength back into the front end, because as you can see, there's not a lot left of it, so definitely needs to be built back up. Ah, my overcomplicated front end friend, you are complete, or at least I think you are, until I find something that I've forgotten to do. So this is the front end. You just saw that this is the original front panel off the truck, how flimsy it was. So I had to put a lot of strength back into it. So we capped off the chassis legs of the Crown Vic, made these verticals to mount the actual front panel too. I put some L brackets on the actual bolted mount itself because I didn't want to overstress it and crack it. Filled in this area so the airbox will be nice and watertight, and ran these cable guides for the harness over the top. So cable guides the same on this side, same again, really just filled that in, gave it a little bit more strength, filled in all the holes because I don't want air going through, you know, that's what that's for as well. Don't want air going around the radiator, we want to try and get as much going through as we can. So I'm going to throw the front end on now and then do the power steering cooler. Another quick thing I forgot to tell you guys, so we've got the truck inner fender spliced to the Crown Vic inner fender here, and there's no real way of supporting it at the front. I was going to bolt it to the actual truck front panel, but I want to be able to remove the front panel without the front end kind of falling to pieces. So what I did on both sides, I just extended some box section off the front end of the chassis leg, and it's just sat on it, but it's in there tight and I can't see it going anywhere. So that's that side, and then we've got the box section. This is supporting the battery tray, so that's just in there, and then the battery tray is, you know, it's pretty solid, so I can't see that going anywhere. Okay, power steering cooler. So there's a super quick shot of the power steering cooler that has been moved down to the bottom. I just welded some box onto the bottom of that cross member and then welded 2 verticals onto it. And you may notice that the right hand bumper bracket is gone because it was in the wrong place. So we have to redo that now. So here we have the close-up of all the bracketry and clearances. Everything's super tight behind the grille. But let me just take a step back. There you go, factory fresh. Here she is, alive once more. The doors are on, shutting nicely, and we all know what's gone on before that. Pretty much all the same there. Ooh, that's nice. So all the work pretty much has gone into the actual front end itself. As you guys know, that's Crown Vic, that's old truck. And most of the work this week, to be honest with you, has gone into this front panel. It's all behind there. Oh, awesome. I kind of forget how good she sounds. Do you know what this means? This whole space here is about to get filled. Yeah, baby. Okay, first drive with super noisy power steering pump because it's not bled the air out yet. So, quick lap of the block. Complete with no hood. Neighbours hating me. As soon as I start driving this thing, there was no way I get to keep my license. It's a complete hooligan mobile. Okay, there you go. A quick little soundbite of the old girl. Oh, she is looking fine, but missing something, so let's see. So this is the old chassis off the version 1 build. That's the original truck floor there that I modified massively, which I just didn't like. So that's an 04 Vic engine and running gear that's under here, 04 Vic back axle as well. And the bed, which has been shortened. Something like that, that's a damn fine colour match. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is mainly chop out most of the floor. I'm going to leave the cross members in, but I'm going to chop out most of this corrugated area because for the first time of fitting one of these floors onto a Vic chassis, I want to be able to look down and figure it all out, and then I'm going to do a wood bed. I think a wood bed will complement the truck really, really well. So yeah, episode 6. Well, that's it for part 5. Front end is pretty much done. Obviously there's always stuff that needs to be redone and done again. I'm quite sure I will find a never-ending list, but part 6 is all about the bed. I'm so excited to get the bed on. It's going to look so awesome. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and please like if you like what I'm doing. Any questions or anything, post it in comments below and I'll try and answer stuff. Yeah, roll on the bed in part 6. Thanks for watching.